Hi, it's Garry. Welcome to today's live stream. Now, I'll just sit up nice and straight. How are we all doing today? Absolutely beautiful weather now here in Perth. Let me just switch over to the screen once I fetch up my Safari window, that is. Oh, I can hear myself on the other computer as well. So at the moment, this is where Garry needs to be fired because he didn't check this. So let me just go and change this. Come on. Oh, I'm having one of those days today. Settings. Oh. I think OBS may have frozen on me. Properties. Why isn't it giving me the properties? Okay, let's do it the hard way. Over to the iPad. Not sure why that's not working today. Let's check, does Keynote work? My version of OBS, which is what I used to stream, was updated yesterday. And I'm wondering if there's a bit of a problem with it. Because I can't seem to do anything. Oh well, never mind. So let's go back into Safari on the iPad. Let's move that out of the way. There you are. Yes, at least you can see on the iPad. So we've got... Alright, yes, you could see on the iPad. So we've got... It's currently 24 Celsius. Come on, technical difficulties already. 24C in F. So here we're currently 75 Fahrenheit. That's not too bad. The high today is meant to be 32, which is 90. Can't wait for that. I love when we get these nice hot weathers. And I'm just fetching up the next one. I should have switched to the camera first. Just fetching up my presentation ready for later. And I'll fetch up numbers as well, because we need that. I've now got the iPad set up all the time so that I can hopefully very quickly swap between them when needed, when something like this happens, when Garry has technical difficulties. So let's go and have a look through the comments. Wow, there's loads already. We'll start at the top. Always a good place to start with David. Hey Garry, good morning from cold and rainy Austin, where it's 45 Fahrenheit or 72 for the Celsius, or 7 for the 45 Fahrenheit or 7 for the Celsius based parts of the world. 7.2. Right, David, 7.2. My brain today is not working already. And I've even had 2 cups of coffee. Jim, hey Garry, good morning from Harper's Ferry. Showing up before the start. Welcome to you, Jim. And there we've got 33 Fahrenheit, which is, wow, 0.5 Celsius. Now, we get maybe 7 degrees Celsius once or twice a year. I can't remember the last time I experienced anything below, I think, 6 really. I don't know if I could cope with it now because I'm not used to the nicer weather that we have over here. Blonde Girls 1, hello from chilly Arkansas, where we're waiting for rain to arrive. Yeah, Australia's weird. Our seasons change at the 1st of the month, not the 21st of the month, which is usually when most of the rest of the world, their season changes. So we're now officially in summer. And yeah, it's now getting to that period where we could go weeks without rain. But let's see how it goes. Steve, hello from Utah. Welcome to you, Steve. Miss Marilyn Darling, hi everyone. And then David, Steve, Blonde Skills and Jim, hi to you. Blonde Skills 1, my new blue pens have arrived. Awesome. Oh, it's always nice to get new pens, isn't it? Alia Rose, hi from snowy Pennsylvania with sketchy Wi-Fi. Oh, sketchy Wi-Fi. Oh, I think I would be pulling my hair out. I think just the thought of being without Wi-Fi would do me in. Ricardo, good morning from stormy London. Here it's 7 degrees. So, yeah, very similar to what David's getting there. Marie, thanks for making my evening more fun. But I know it's morning where you are, lol. Yeah, it's morning here, and Gary's still suffering from last night. I was sat there last night. My wife, she likes the Christmas movies, so what I've done is I've said to her, yes, Saturday nights I'll watch a Christmas movie with her. So we were sat there last night watching one, and I got viciously attacked by a bottle of white wine, and it forced me to drink it. I mean, I was trying to say, I was saying no to it, but it forced me to drink it. So I'm still a bit groggy-headed. As I say, I've had some coffee. That could be why I've messed up my things. So I'm not 100% firing on all cylinders, but to say that, whenever am I? Marcy Me, hello from me in Texas. Welcome to you. Marilyn, I got an AdMock M400 transparent in the mail today. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I like the look of the AdMock M800, AdMock M series pens. I believe they're the Pelican copies. No, not copies, Pelican inspired. Keep an eye on my Inky countdowns. Because I've recorded ahead, I know what's coming. Keep an eye on them for AdMock pens. Miss Marilyn Darling, it's the same size as the Pelican M200 series, but with a Schmidt nib. I got a broad, so it's smooth. Yeah, I like my Schmidt nibs. Don't have many of them, but they're really nice. Marilyn, hi Gary. Hi to you, Atomic Health. Hello to everyone from Southern California. Welcome to you. Marilyn, wow, you disappeared. Yeah, that was me trying to sort out that. I'm trying to say it without swearing. I can't really do that. Blonde Scales 1. My Aero and 3776 arrived yesterday. The Viper was earlier in the week. I do like my Aero. I don't use it often enough. It doesn't look exciting, but it writes beautifully. And I've got an ink from my Inky Countdown. It's actually Day 1 Baltic Breeze, which we'll look at shortly, which I'm thinking I might put in the Aero. Near the end, we will take a look at the chromatography from my Inky Countdown days 1 through to 6. Tony, evening everyone from a stormy Wiltshire, southwest UK, and hello Gary, welcome to you. Yeah, I've seen there's a big storm coming through, I think. And did I read yesterday? They think there may be around the Welsh borders area some of the highest winds they've ever had. Blonde Scales 1, week. Jim, snow's missed us so far. And then, welcome to you, Jim. David, we've got here to Miss Marilyn Darling. And then Miss Marilyn Darling, how's it going? We've got a few more hellos. We've got David there. Blonde Scales 1, still can hear you, just can't see you. Yeah, that was me trying to get Safari going, but here we go. We're cooking on gas by using the iPad. David, good. Marilyn, we saw you for a second. Yeah, bit of a flashing in and out at the moment. Andreas, oh my God, I'm late. Good day, everyone. Welcome to you, Andreas. You're never late. You're always at the time you're meant to be there. Marilyn Darling, you clicked something. Yeah, as I say, I think it's a new version of OBS is playing up a bit. Blonde Scales 1, hi. Marilyn, I can see you now. Some might say that's a bad thing, being able to see me. David to Tony, hey Tony, cheers. Then we've got a couple more. We've got no worries, mate. Jim just received a Wancha per Chaco, about the same size as a Mahjong Q1. Yeah, this is why I keep saying, I think I've said on this a number of times, I don't think I could ever buy one of that manufacturer's pens, because you never know what would come out of my mouth. And when we talk about it at home, we use a very different pronunciation. I think most people can guess what it is. David, hey there, how you doing? Marilyn Darling, it's 72 Fahrenheit or 23 Celsius. Yep, that's roughly the same here at the moment. And here, we're 22 to 9 in the morning. David from, Tony. Hello, David. And there I am. Yes, I'm sorry. You have to see me now. David. Hey, Ricardo. How are you? Ali Rose. Sniffly, but have a new pen, sir. It's all good. Hey, back. Hi, everyone. Marilyn, it was 45 Fahrenheit, 7 Celsius this morning. I had to get up and turn on the heater. Wow, that's. I'd say for us that would be cold, 7. We only get that like a couple of times a year, and like Marilyn says, it's turn on the heater time when you get that temperature. We got hi to Ted from Alia Rose, Ricardo. We got fine, thanks. Marcy me. I don't know if the comments are showing up. Let me just check. I did. I don't think the comments are showing up today. It's got to be this OBS, because I can't even get. I thought I'd set it all up. Oh well. Jim, hi back to Miss Marilyn, darling. Marcy me, rain here in Texas. Tony, it's 5 Celsius here, and the wind has dropped from 28 to 45. Wind shear is that, or something like that. John, hello from New England. Welcome to you, John. We've got a lol from there. Marilyn, oh Garry, that's awful. Those damn bottles of wine. They always get me. Yeah, I know, it's terrible. I was saying no, and it just forced me to drink it. Andreas, got a big week here. My Pilot Custom Urushi Konjo and M1000 Renaissance arrived, and I'm now trying to choose the perfect blue and brown inks. Ali Rose Admoc has ingenuity. Andreas, how are you finding the Viper? It looks very interesting. It does. I've looked at it, but then I thought to myself, but I'm quite happy with the Aero. So I don't know about that one. Blonde Scales 1, the Viper has a magnetic cap with a very satisfying click. Blonde Scales 1, haven't inked the new ones yet. David, celebrating, saw a Facebook post from an Austin stationers about some Mont Blanc pens that were on sale. Long story short, but I got a Prisma Ceramic Solitaire 145 with a medium nib for a near criminal price. Awesome. David, now I've got another 145, 146 matching pair. Brilliant. It's going on down. Marilyn, we've got a lol. Chris, has anyone got a Hondian M2? I've got a blue one coming on the slow boat. Yeah, things from China at the moment do seem to be taking quite a while. Marilyn, yeah, comments are not showing up. Jim, how are the comments now? I think the way I could get them back is I would need to restart OBS, but then that would stop the stream. So, David's saying that you can see them. Tony, to Chris, I've got an M2 in grey medium, great writer. Alia Rose, let me move down. Alia Rose, to Chris, I've got an orange and lilac M2. The section is a bit slippery, but otherwise they're really nice little cat pens. Blonde Scales 1, video is working. Don't worry about putting comments on the screen. Yeah, as it's just, it's an annoyance. I say, I seem to have nothing but problems. But I noticed that lots of people, is it Hemingway Jones? He uses Ecamm Studio, and he says he's always having problems. So it's got to be something, because I believe maybe Ecamm Studio isn't built on OBS. I can't remember about that. David, it's been raining all day here. Oh, rain. Ted, hi Ali Rose. David has gifted 1 membership, so thank you very much for that, David. So Scott has been gifted a membership by David. Congratulations to Scott. Thank you very much, David. Very much appreciated. Marcy Me, yes, here and through noon Sunday is expected. Chris, it's my first pocket pen. I don't think the slippery section will bother me. Tony, nice one, Scott. Alia Rose, watching YouTubers struggle to find nice things to say about Inkvent Day 7's offering as being kind of adorable. The comments are not showing up yet, so I don't know what I've managed to do with it. Yeah, I'm just double checking Inkvent Day 7. Yeah, don't know what to say about it. Obviously, you hopefully would have seen my video on it. It's unusual. That's a positive way to say it. It's unusual. Right, so the winning pen, the tournament. Let's head on back to the iPad. The tournament, we had the final went out on Monday of this week, or Monday my time. We had the Lamy 2000. We had the Visconti. No, that's Semi 3. We had the Marchon P136. We had the Platinum Preppy. And we had the Lamy 2000. And the winning pen, by a vast majority, is the Lamy 2000, which took out 58% of the vote. And there were 121 votes on it. So absolutely awesome to see that. And congratulations to the Lamy 2000. I've got it here. So what will happen is, I'm using this as my pen of the week. In January is when I'm looking at my pens in use will all be winners from this year. So I'm going to pick 5 of the winning pens from my pens in use, plus the Lamy 2000 to round it up to my 6 pens for the selection. So you'll be seeing this used more in January. I will be clearing it out after this week because the plan is that I'm going to use 3 Inkvent inks and 3 Colourvent inks from this year's calendars. I've got to wait till I've opened them all. This will not have a shimmer or a chameleon in. There we go. So that's the Lamy 2000. Back to me. Let's go to the iPhone. I'm going slightly fast. I'm trying to go slightly fast because I want to make sure we've got time at the end for looking at that chromatography. So my pens of the week. Sorry about that. So the pen I've been using all week. This is a Pilot Custom 823. Nearly out of ink now. I really like my Custom 823. It's what it is, to be really honest, one of my favourite pens. I'm not going to say it is my favourite, but it's really certainly up there. I'm planning next sometime in January. I've got to work out what dates yet. I haven't scheduled some of the videos for January. I'm planning to do my top 5 pens. So that'll be mostly mid to late January, I would think. So we've got here a Pilot Custom 823 with broad 14 karat gold nib. Price wise, we're looking about 560 Aussie dollars. The ink by Diamine, and it's 3 Kings. This is a standard ink. I see a lot of shading in this ink. The paper I'm writing on, this is Midori MD cotton pad. It's got a slightly cream colour to it. Next up, we've got the Jinhao 100. This has got a broad Yoho nib. There we go. And this one's nearly out of ink. I don't think I'm going to refill this. I've refilled a number of pens. Can't even get the body back on now. There we go. But it's nice. It's a really comfortable pen to write with. And I get brilliant, lovely lines. So this is a Jinhao 100. So it's got a broad Yoho nib. The price is 23 Aussie dollars. I actually think the nib costs more than the actual pen. The ink by Diamine. And it's Arctic Blast. Beautiful blue ink with a very nice... It's a beautiful blue ink with a very nice red sheen. Hint for you, when you're putting the cap on a pen, Put it on the right way around. Don't try and put your nib in through there. Up next, I'm just going to irritate this as I'm talking. So we've got here a Hondian N7. This is in the peacock. Love the patterning on this. I love the colour of this. Piston filling pen. I believe there's still a fair bit of ink left in here, but this is another one. When it runs out of ink, will not be getting refilled. Let's move the paper up ever so slightly. And this is a Hondian. And it's the N7 with that fine nib. Price wise, this one you're looking about 45 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine and it's Garland. Now I've just realised with the Arctic Blast, the Arctic Blast is also a chameleon ink. This one, I don't really see much of the chameleon. I'm just lifting this up and see loads of the sheen, but I very rarely see it. But occasionally you'll get some nice, like a really bright blue chameleon in there. The Hondian, that's also a sheening ink, and it's a shimmer. Again, I very rarely see the shimmer, but I normally see a lot of the sheen. So that's that one. Up next, we're running through these today. We've got from Narwhal, we've got the Narwhal Key West, the Isla Marada. Beautiful gold sparkly piston filling pen. There we go. Another one nearly out of ink. Not sure if I'm going to refill this. Had some issues with this. A couple of times I've had to prime the feed. So we've got here a Narwhal Key West with a medium nib. Price for this, you're looking at 89 Aussie dollars. The ink by Diamine, I believe it's Fortune's Gold. Let me just check. Yep, Fortune's Gold. So the ink in here, this is a chameleon ink, which could explain why I've had the flow issues. Maybe the feed's getting a bit blocked up. But yeah, don't think I'm going to re-ink this one. Next up, yeah, it's got to be a Christmas pen. Ranga Santa. Absolutely love the looks of this. It's really nice to hold, really nice to use. I do even use it during the non-Christmas period because I like this red material. Loads of threads on it. Here we've got the converter. This was refilled, I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before. 1.1 Yoho stub nib on here. Beautiful writer. So we've got here a Ranga Santa. I always want to write really, really big with this pen. It's not broad, it's 1.1. Price wise is 145 Aussie dollars. The ink by Diamine. Wow, there's loads of comments coming in. I do see them going up on the side of the screen. Diamine Tinsel. So this is a shimmer ink. There on the Friday's video, I actually did a comparison of this ink versus Spiced Apple. Not sure which one I prefer. I do like that Spiced Apple though, but this tinsel's growing on me. Let's move this up. Next up is the Conklin Durograph. This has got the medium nib on it. It's a cartridge converter. I have refilled it, but I struggle with this. You'll see hopefully now. There you go. This is what I get all the time. So what I have to do, normally just a few shakes like that, I know, being very brave, doesn't get going now. What I have to do is prime the feed. So just brought in a bit of tissue. Let's just give that. Hopefully that's enough. Yep. So this is the Conklin Durograph with a medium nib. Price wise, you're looking about 150 Aussie dollars, 157 should I say. The ink by Diamine, and it's Yuletide. Now, what I've done with this pen, because I was having issues right from the start of the month, I've actually changed the feed. I've put another Yoho feed on there. That hasn't fixed the problem. If anything, it's made it worse. What I'm going to do, not sure if it'll be whilst I'm still using it, I might wait until after that, is change it for yet another Yoho feed. The way I'm looking at it, it's possible to get 2 feeds which are a bit dodgy, but getting 3 would be less likely. So that's my current plan, to see if that fixes it, because it's a beautiful pen, absolutely gorgeous, and the writing experience is really, really nice. It's got beautiful, gorgeous feedback. It's just not consistent. You know, you saw there I have to prime the feed. Then when I'm writing, after I've written about 2 sentences, the nib dries out, and that's where shaking it usually does get it back writing again. And the last pen, another Christmas pen for me, is the Bennu Talisman in Dragon's Blood. I know I do my daily videos, and the photos that I use for it just do not really do this pen justice. Even the video here doesn't do this justice. The beautiful colours and the way it looks. Very, very nice. I refilled this, was it yesterday or the day before? Because I'm really enjoying it. I love this combo. And it's very nice to use. So we got here a Bennu Talisman. And it's got a broad Schmidt nib. Price-wise, you're talking, where's my price? $267 Aussie roughly. The ink by Diamine. And it's Pick Me Up. Very wet ink. It's a scented ink. And, I'm smelling it up here. I'm getting like a, maybe a sweet coffee bean type smell. Very nice. So that's the pens I've been using this week. Just do that swapping over there to get that prepared for the section when we come back to the overhead camera. All right, let's jump on back. Let me sit up. Oh, I don't know if I showed you it. Today's T-shirt. Here we go. So we got Yoda there, Christmas Yoda. And we'll head now back to the comments when I can find where my mouse is. Here, mousey, mousey, mousey. Problem is I've got... there it is. I've got 4 screens going and I've lost my mouse. Right, there it is. I've found it. Right. Let's go back to the comments. Ricardo, to Ali Rose, yeah, been watching them. Marilyn, got to run. See you later, Miss Marilyn, darling. Jim, yes, I've been enjoying your videos on the Inkvent. Thank you, brilliant. I love doing them. It's my 3rd year. I don't know what it is this year, but I think every single video I've made some kind of mistake, or I just don't know what it is. I'm straight on the cordial today. This isn't a pint glass, and it was full of ice, but the ice is, a lot of it's melted. David, TW Tourist, a bit late, but hello to all from a cold and wet Texas hill country. Welcome to you. As I say, it's not that you're late, it's you were right on time. You're there the time you're meant to be. Alia Rose, it's special. Yeah. Ricardo, day 7 reminds me a bit of Platinum Citrus Black, but without the fun bit of it turning from lighter to dark tones. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to show the swatch today because I'm only doing days 1 to 6 today. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for. In the comments, we've been chatting a little bit, and we're thinking, it might be nice as like using as a highlighter. And on day 1 of the Inkvent, I was gifted that Duckbill 2.5mm nib, and I'm thinking I might put it in there and see what it's like in there. Tony, I bought a Lamy 2000 in stainless steel this week with allegedly a medium nib. Great looking pen, but it's very fine for a medium. My only experience with the 2000 is the broad nib, and the broad nib is more like a stub. When I first got it, I thought they made a mistake here. They sent me a 1.1. So I did pull the nib out to have a look at it. You can do it. It's a bit fiddly. And it is a broad. It is a broad. It's definitely marked broad. But yeah, I actually quite like it. I like the stub nature of it. Andreas lol, I love the Day 7 colour. It's the first ink vent bottle I've actually opened after 3 years. Awesome. It's nice that you like it, but yeah. Andreas, on Inkvent, what was the scent of the Forest Gatto ink? So to me, it was like a cherry type smell. Very much did remind me of Black Forest Gatto when you get that like cherry smellish from the top of it. I really found that quite pleasant. I quite enjoyed it. Alia Rose, it was a cherryish candy scent to me. Oh, brilliant. It's good seeing that other people have said that. Andreas, thank you. I watched several reviews, but no one actually described the scent. It's nice. I really enjoy it. I thought I'd said it in the video, or did I edit that bit out? But yeah, it's like definitely Black Forest Gatto is the best way I can describe it. Marcy Me to David, hello from your wet Texas neighbour. Ricardo, congratulations. May I ask where you bought the Lamy 2000? Alia Rose, I love Fortune's Gold. It does well in the medium heartbeat nib, Jinhao 9019. Yeah, I don't mind the colour. I do like to use it in that pen. I think they're a really good match there because you've got the gold colour there of that material. I've used it in that pen before and not had any issues, so I'm not sure why it's playing up. Could just be I need to pull out that nib and feed and give it a really good clean. David, to Marcy Me, you around the hill country? Marie, love the tinsel ink. Yeah, I say it's growing on me. It's not too bad. Pardon me. To Tony, the Lamy 2000 that he got, believe it or not, Amazon, it was about £180. That's not bad. Marcy Me, Fort Worth, but Texans are all neighbours across our expansive land. Awesome. Blonde Scales 1, I need to figure out what to put in the new ones. Always a bit of a challenge that for me as well. Andreas, this is turning me off Conklin pens. I've got some Conklin pens, had no issues. I say it could just be the feed, and I'm going to try another feed, see what happens. Failing that, what I might do is take a craft knife, and again, with the original feed, is try deepening the channel. Could be just needs a little bit more ink coming down, and I don't mind that because I like really wet writers anyway. Ricardo, nice one. Tony, I've got a Durograph and it took three replacement nib units and a lot of flossing by me to get the pen working. Yeah, you do also hear that as well. Blonde Skills 1 Street, I think that's down to my mouse. David, and from another wet cold neighbour in Austin. Chris, I use a cheap brush pen as a highlighter, works really well. What I have got, I've got one in here. Not sure. No. That one. No. There we go. Found it. This is a Platinum Preppy. Which has been inked up like for about 3 years. That's how often I use it. I don't even know if it'll write now. Yeah, that writes straight off. And what you can get on here, you can actually... got loads of ink. That's because I eyedroppered it. I need to redo that. But you get like a highlighter nib. And it works really, really well. Yeah, it's writing. Let me go back to the iPhone. So I'm going to... Let me go back to the iPhone, he says. So we've got here a Preppy. I can't even remember what the ink is. So you can get like a highlighter there. How does it go? Let's highlight over that bended talisman. Seems to work all right. So this has been inked up a number of years, and this is the first time I've picked it up, I would say, for at least 18 months. I don't use it that often. I've also now got ink all over my hands. Let me give this a good wipe. Let's go back to the camera whilst I'm wiping off my hands. It might be Noodler's yellow that I've got in there. I can't 100% remember. So, anyone know anything about Hex Pen's 3D printed DNA pen? Sorry, I'm just getting some kitchen roll to carry on. Cleaning my hands a bit. I've seen a couple of reviews on them. They look nice. They look very different, don't they? Blonde Scales 1, no idea. I think that's to that Hex pen. Tony, I have a Macrolon 2000 in broad and agree with the stub nature. Actually, mine is more architect. I'm going to swap this to the new stainless one. Oh. Yeah, I'll say once I worked out how to get into it, it was really, really easy to do. Steve, anyone replaced a standard Lamy nib with a gold nib? I haven't, but I saw, I think it was Simone yesterday, where she swapped a Lamy LX and put a gold nib on there, and that's the same as the Safari nib. David, for any American college football fans, Georgia just beat Texas 22-19 in overtime for the SEC champions. I'm not really a sports person. Don't even like watching sport, to be honest. Over here, I've been to a couple of Aussie Rules games, only because I was in corporate hospitality and there was loads and loads of free wine. And the best way I can describe Aussie Rules football is it's a mass brawl and occasionally a ball gets in the way. The thing which really tickled me, obviously growing up in the UK, football or soccer, proper football, soccer, that was very, very big. And you'd see the match played. Aussie Rules football, you had all the players on the field, you had your ref on the field, then you had all these people in yellow jumpers going all over the place and passing messages. So you actually had these messengers running all over and telling the players what to do. That really tickled me the first time I saw that. Andreas, got to go out. Xmas lunch. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks for joining, Andreas. Hopefully we'll see you next week. David, I grew up in southwest Fort Worth, went to Arlington Heights and TCU. David, hello, David. Sounds like most of Texas is wet today. And to think Monday is going to hit a high of 80. Wow. Blonde Scales 1, Texas is sending the rain my way. Marcy Me, I've got no idea. Horned frogs. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that is that a sports team or something. Jim, now I have a plan for day 7, lemon and lime. Awesome. I saw a review of the redesigned DNA Lucent and it was interesting. Yeah, I do like the idea of it. It does look very unusual. I like pens that look unusual. Under the influence, I use a Safari with a gold nib. It's constantly inked and a game changer. Marcy Me, Riff Ram Bazoo. Okay. Yeah, I'll pretend I know what that means. Under the influence, the Lamy gold nibs, especially when on sale, are such good value. I've not really thought about doing that. I might do because I don't like my Safari nib that I've got on my Safari. So that might be worth changing that to a gold nib. What I was thinking yesterday is I might look at getting a gold nib and use that on the Jinhao 80, was it? The one where it uses them Safari style nibs. And thinking there, an $8 pen with a $100 and odd nib on it. Steve, thanks to Jim. Blonde Scales 1, I like ice hockey and equestrian sports to watch. I once worked with with a Canadian and American, and I made the mistake one day of saying ice hockey to them. And then didn't I get a lecture about it because they said, no, it's not ice hockey, it's just hockey. And I said, no, hockey is played on grass by schoolgirls and they're always good fun to watch. I got into lots of trouble for that. Apparently, I really upset them by saying ice hockey. David, and then we have a high of 45 or so. And then let's go down. Rahul, welcome to you. Saw you're live. Hi. The gold nib on an 80 sounds lovely. Yeah, as I say, I might do that. Sorry. Right, let's go back over to Mr. iPad. Last week's videos. So each day we had my Yankee countdown. We'll look at them at the end of the video. So we're only going to look at days 1 to 6. I don't think there'll be any spoilers now. But just in case, that's why they're being left to the end. Monday, that was the final pen, the fountain pen tournament. The final went down really well. I've really enjoyed this tournament. Having 3 pens per round, I think, has made all the difference. Previous ones, I've only had 2 per round. But I think adding that third one has really, brought it a little bit more to life for me. So I'll be doing another one next year. Not sure when. I might look at doing one, maybe starting March or April time. Wednesday, 5 piston filling pens. So this is carrying on with my series where I just look at 5 pens from my collection, usually with some kind of theme behind them. So the theme this time was piston pens. I've got loads more to do, so I might be able to do another piston fillers and use a completely different selection then. And then Friday, we had that December ink review, which was Diamine Spiced Apple versus Diamine Tinsel. Next week's videos. So again, we're going to carry on with our daily Inky Countdown videos. Tomorrow my time, I'm going to be doing a fountain pen focus on Adjust Turnings Enceladus in Jonathan Brooks' Elven Wood. Then on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing virtually the same pen model, a Just Turnings Enceladus, but this time in Golden Blue Jay. I thought doing them like this, because they're the same model near enough, hopefully it keeps it fresh, although I did record them a number of weeks apart. And then Friday, we're going to take a look at a paper sampler kit. So we're going to look at a number of different papers. And that was very surprising because one of the papers, it was horrible. So that's coming up on Friday. And then my books. So I finished off Monstrous Regiment by Terry Pratchett. And then I've now made a start on Death's Mistress by Terry Goodkind. I'm about 20% of the way through that. So I don't think I'll get it finished this week. It might be a little bit into next week. But once I finish that, I'll then be back to my Terry Pratchett books. So we go back to the camera. Let's have a quick look if there's any more comments. Okay, we've got quite a few again. Under the Influence, look at Ink Tea in New Zealand, only $10 shipping to Australia and conversion rate, and no GST, is a great place for Aussies to shop. Just made a note of that. I shall have a look on that. Adia Rose, go sports. When I was young, I actually did quite like sports, but I wasn't very good at it. And I think what put me off, we had to do PE twice a week at school, and I was crap. And it led to a lot of, not going to say bullying, but bullying type behaviour. And that really turned me against all sport. Up to being about 11 or 12, I would try anything and everything. But yeah, after the experience at school, I'm afraid now it's just completely put me off all sport completely. David, I know that we have discussed this in the past, but what is the consensus about buying pens on eBay, eBids and the like? I don't really do that. I'd look, but it's hard to get pens over here. I think in the States, in the UK, it's a lot easier. I do like AliExpress. The couple that I've bought off eBay, they were actually from Pulp Addiction in the end. So they were just advertising on eBay as a way to try and get people to their site. But yeah, I think as long as you're careful, I don't really see much of an issue. Blonde Scales 1. I have a Lamy Vista with a cursive nib to try also. Just rearrange my chair. Ooh. Let's come a bit closer to the computer, shall we? And there's a blob of ink there. Let's get rid of... God, I've got a nice yellow desk now. Lamy Vista, that's the clear one, is it? Not tried a cursive nib from Lamy. That might be worth trying as well. Blonde Scales 1, haven't bought from eBay in a few years. Jim, I've got several pens, mostly vintage, that I got off eBay. I've not had any issues so far, knock on wood. I think eBay do have quite a good policy for if people are misleading and essentially conning you. David, my medium safari nib came loose and would move side to side. I used a pair of pliers to tighten it up. So far, so good. Brilliant. Nice little tip there. Tony, I get some good deals on eBay for vintage pens. Marcy, mate, apologies. The Texans were being familiar with weather and college team mascots and sports. No, that's brilliant. I love seeing it because it all expands my knowledge. Under the influence, yes, get a cursive nib ASAP as Lamy is discontinuing them. It's my favourite steel Lamy nib. David, I've bought 3 or 4 and I've been very fortunate so far, but I keep hearing horror stories and always try to avoid all those sites unless I know the person selling the pen. Yeah, I can understand that. I do look sometimes because obviously they have vintage pens. And I do look at them, but then I think I don't know enough about vintage pens to know if this is a good deal or not. David, either personally or by reputation, what vintage pens did you get, if you don't mind me asking? Jim, I've got a few sellers that I've saved that I rely on. One of the pens is the Montblanc 149. Marcy Me, I bought a fabulous vintage 1977 Pilot pocket pen on eBay. Totally happy. David to Jim, I'll have a look. I'll look up the Montblanc 149. I will look Montblanc 149 up. Tony, I've bought a few Mabel Todd, Conway Stewart, and also a lovely 1990s Pelican M400 for £100. That's good value. Jim, also got a MYU, some pocket pens, and your Murex, Murex. Marilyn, I'm back. Welcome back. Blonde Skills 1, we got a welcome back. And then David, what pens did you get on eBay, if you feel like saying? Let me just refresh, and then we're going to go and look on the last bits. David, that was a joke about looking up the Montblanc 149, by the way. Right, next up, we're going to give away, hopefully this time, we're going to give away some memberships. So, yep, I've got them now. So I'm going to give away 5 free memberships to the channel. So members get early access to videos. They get some extra videos. So each week they get the what you see as the intro video. They get a full version of that. They get once a month there's an Ask Me Anything video. Again, once a month there's also a very short half-hour Zoom call. So I'm going to give away what what YouTube do is they give me 10 memberships per month to give away. The membership is only valid for 1 month. So I'm going to gift 5 of them now, and in 2 weeks' time we'll do the other 5. So look out on your chat to see if it comes up. There we go. It's coming out. So that's 5 memberships. Hopefully in your chat you should have received a notification. You can also join as a member of the channel. As I say, everything that comes into the channel just helps with getting more stuff. This year, for instance, the Colour Vent calendar was bought purely from the revenue that I get from the channel. So that enabled me to do the Colour Vent this year as well as the Ink Vent. And talking about that, we're going to swap over to the iPhone camera again and take a look at these swatches. So we're starting with Ink Vent day number 1. So each day the Ink Vent one will be first. So day 1 was Baltic Breeze. There we go. I actually quite like the look of this. This is one I'm thinking of putting in my Diplomat Aero, which has got a broad nib. Got a beautiful base colour there. It's like I want to say like a bluey grey to me. What I then do is I do another swat in. I get slap my head. Right, let's start again. How I do these is I just use a cotton bud. So I do one coat, which is really wide. I do a second coat after doing another dip, just in the middle, and then I do a third one right in the middle. So hopefully we get to see some differences there. And just look here. This is a shimmer ink. I write on my cards now what it is. And then over on the back, I've got my chromatographies. So this one, we can see that shimmer seems to be down at the bottom. Got some nice pinks and blues there. The Colourverse one, I like this. This was pretty. Colourverse Super Giant. Very nice colour. Seeing, especially now where I've done a little bit heavy, seeing a bit of a goldy coloured border here. Looks quite nice. And then over the back, there's a chromatography. Day number 2, Wilted Rose. Not sure about this one. It looks all right. Just try and catch this. No real sheen or anything like that, but I do see hints of gold again coming through. And then there's a chromatography for that. So quite a grey background, and then up here we've got some nice little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue in there as well. The Colourverse one, Edge of Night. Quite I want to say like a dusty, darkish blue here. Quite enjoyable, quite nice to look at. Just trying to see, no sheening or anything like that. And then over here, look at that beautiful, got very good delineation there between colours. One of the inks I actually do quite like, Diamine Noble Fur. This is day number 3 with Starbright. Just look at that. So we've got beautiful green base colour. Then we've got that massive hit of silver there when we get the Starbright. I'm hoping I'm catching this in the light so you can see it. Absolutely beautiful. I really like this one. Again, here we've got our chromatography. So a bit of grey, bit of green, and a bit of blue in there. Colourverse is Moonlit Veil. So this to me is like a grey colour. It looks fairly pale to me. Might be worth comparing this maybe with Diamine Ghost or something like that. That might be something I might look at, doing a comparison. But to me, it's just a grey ink. And over the back of the chromatography, not really much there to say about the chromatography. It's grey. Day number 4. So somebody asked about this earlier on, Forest Gatto, and what it smelt like. Colour-wise, again, does quite remind me of a Black Forest Gatto. Like a... I'm not very good at names for colours. To me, this is like a reddy purple. Not very good, am I? And over there, we've got, again, the chromatography. Loads of red in that, and a fringe of blue at the top. Day number 4 from the Colour Vent. This is Sailing Stones. This is another colour which has actually grown on me since I first opened it. When I first opened it, it was all right. But I thought it was a little bit on the blah side. But as I've been looking at it, I'm actually quite liking this. I'm thinking I may try this in my Pilot Custom 823. I think it may look quite nice in that. And then there's the chromatography. Next up, we've got Diamine Lilac. This is day number 5. This is a shimmer ink. You can see a little bit of the shimmer, not a lot. It's like a very subtle shimmer there. Quite a pale looking ink as well. Again, here's our chromatography. Next one, day number 5 from Colourverse. This is the Rosette Nebula. Actually, not too bad a colour, this. One of the pens I was gifted was a Jinhao 9019, and I may put this in there, although I may put the next one in it as well. I'm not sure which one to go for yet. That's quite nice. And here we've got chromatography. We've got a bit of brown there down at the bottom of that one. Yeah, this is the other one that I'm thinking of putting in that 9019. Day number 6 from Diamine Cranberry. Beautiful. It's they call it an extreme sheen, and wow. Again, I'm hoping that I can catch this on the camera for you. Yeah, there. Oh, get the camera like that, you can see it. Beautiful red base colour. Oh, then we've got this like greeny gold colour on top of it. Absolutely gorgeous. And here, there's that chromatography. Do you know, I know I'm going to have to do some research on this. I'd love to know how they get the sheen to work. And finally, we've got Colourverse Killanova. Oh, pardon me. So, story with this one. Obviously, I've been watching reviews beforehand, you know, like you do. And a number of people have been saying about, when they came to this, they were saying Killanova. I thought it was K-I-L-L-E-R, Nova. But it's not, it's Killanova. Just the way I was hearing it. So here it's beautiful purple. And there, although it doesn't say it on the bottle, there's like it's like, would you say that's a brownie type of sheen coming through? Quite nice. And then over there we've got our chromatography again. So let's head back over. And we'll go back to the comments. Up we go, and there we are. Under the influence, I'm very happy with my eBay vintage pens, but I have a very low threshold and try not to overspend unless it's listed as restored. Sorry. Yeah, as I say, I can't really comment too much on that. David, thanks. That was actually helpful. And we've got Atomic Elf with, I'm not very good with pictures, so with I don't know, I want to say a purpley eye googly type thing. And then we've got a drum beat there from Marcy Me and the 5 giveaways. Marcy Me drum roll. Chris, thanks, Garry. No, don't need to thank me. This is all courtesy of Mr. YouTube or Mrs. YouTube. Can't remember who's in charge of it now. It was Susan Wozniacki for a lot of years, but I think was it last year when she stepped down? I don't know. Again, after I have a bit of a dig into that, as in running YouTube. Blonde Scales 1, congrats. David. By the way, hi, Chris. I didn't see you there. Marcy Me, congrats all. Chris, I snuck in after the bell. Jim, I've got a couple of unusual, difficult to find pens, a Tombow Zoom and a Platinum Glamour off eBay. Tony, well done to the winners of Garry's channel memberships. David, you found a Glamour on eBay. Wow. Marilyn Darling, that sheen is something. It absolutely is. It's so nice. It's right in your face. And I know it sounds stupid, but I love it. I love the in-the-face stuff. And, you know, from them 6, if I was asked to pick a favourite, it would be that one with the sheen. Oh, it is so pretty. Sorry, I'm going off track. Aries, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to you, sir. Well, I'm saying sir. I shouldn't really, because you could be not a sir. I know it's terrible. Just slap me around the face with a wet kipper. Under the Influence, both are on my to get list. I love the look of both of those pens. Tony, I'm an ancient pensioner, so bought the 2023 from Cult Pens at half price. Wow, that's a brilliant idea, isn't it? David, the glamour is very interesting looking pen for sure. Marilyn, hello Aries. Jim, to get a feel for the Tombow, get a Marjon Q1, which was inspired by the Tombow. Is that short, fat one? That's the way I think of it. I've looked at them, but never really thought too much about it. Marcy Me, fun week of diamond colours for sure. Aries, we've got hi there to Marilyn Darling. Ricardo, funny thing is, you'll be able to get the 2024 calendar discounted right now. Yeah. Marcy Me, I just received a notification of a Garry video post. Yeah, that's today's My Inky Countdown. What I'm doing is putting them out each day at 9:30 my time. So yeah, that would have just gone out. So if you want more of me after the live, there you go. You've got today's My Inky Countdown. What day is today? Today's the 8th. I'm just looking. Today's gifts, because I've been writing them down. Oh, very nice. Certainly worth looking at for the gifts. Alia Rose. Let me. I missed some comments, by the way. Alia Rose, Tony Bins, that's how you do it. I'm going to go back because I missed some comments out. Ricardo, we got congratulations. David to Chris, we got a smiley face. Under the influence, I find 60s to 80s Japanese vintage that use cartridges. That could be worth trying, looking at. Just putting thoughts in my head. David, congratulations to all the winners. Under the influence and Pelican and Kaweco vintage pistons, pretty reliable vintage buys on eBay. Atomic Elf 1, Edge of Night makes me think of denim. Actually, yeah, I can see that. I can see where you're coming with that one. David, to Under the Influence. I'm partial to Mont Blancs, especially internal piston fillers like the 146 and 149, but they are all pretty great. David, I like the green and tried to find it online with no luck. And then Annie Rose, $2. Thank you so much for the pen fund. I've got my eye on a pen, waiting till the January sales, because it's the one I've got my eye on is the Pelican M1000, but in Renaissance Brown. So that's so much. Thank you so much for that. It does go toward, that's what it would be going towards. Jim to Garry, yes, the short fat one. I know it's not really I'm not a very politically correct person. You may have noticed that. So Tony, I've bought a couple of Diamine 160th anniversary inks, espresso and canal side. I had to buy the canal side as I have a narrowboat on the Kennet and Avon. Yeah, when I was younger, we went on a canal boat holiday on the, I want to say, the Grand Central Canal. It's one that goes by Stoke-on-Trent. And where we moved from in the UK, we lived in a small market town called Selby, which is in North Yorkshire. And where we lived, it was 5 minutes to the canal. So we used to take our dog for a walk along the canal virtually every day. Beautiful it was, and I wasn't into photography as much then, but if I'd have been into photography, some of the plants and the animals that we saw as we were walking along there, very, very nice. Blonde Scales 1 only works if they have a few left next year. And Marcy Me, yay, I'm going for it. Day number 8. Ricardo, I've already opened mine as it's past 1:30. Let me just have a look at what's on day 8. I can tell you something. It'll be an improvement on day number. Oh yes. Yes. I've just had a quick look ahead. I know I shouldn't do, but that was my swatch cards ready for next week. Day 8, quite interesting. Let's refresh. Marcy Me, it's only 7:30 p.m. here. Yeah, so this is why I'm putting the videos out at the time I am. I know I'm hitting the evenings in the US, but I'd say for me it's 9:30 in the morning. For the UK, it's 1:30 in the morning, I believe. So that's really why I picked the time I did. And obviously, it's obvious what it is. So hopefully people don't watch it and find that there's spoilers. Tony, the canal side is a nice dark green and the espresso is a lovely dark brown. I do like my browns. Okay, so that's all the comments. So I'll start the wrap up. Let me just move this microphone a bit. Hope you've all enjoyed yourself. I love doing these. Thank you so much for joining me for this rambling chat. I know I keep going off topic and I talk a load of rubbish sometimes. I love doing these. Hope you've enjoyed that quick look at the swatch cards. I thought let's just do it very, very quickly. So next week we'll be looking at day 7 through to, I think it's day 15. So there'll be 7 days worth where there was only 6 for today. Thank you all for your support. Remember, membership is available if you're able to support the channel. Anything anyone does to support the channel, I very much appreciate. Please hit that thumbs up button every time you like, every time you comment. Just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. Head on over now, watch day number 8 of that My Inky Countdown. I loved the gifts for day number 8. They were absolutely awesome. And yes, it was gifts. There was more than one. I really was over the moon with one of them. So thank you all. Love having you along. Let's jump back in. So over in the Pacific, 5:37 p.m. Marcy Me, I like the US time of receipt. Marcy Me, thank you, Gary. David, see everyone next week. Cheers. Marilyn, thank you, Gary. I hope to see you again next week. Marilyn, bye, everyone. See you all next week. Aries, thank you, Gary. Blonde Scales 1, we have a members Zoom coming up soon, don't we? Yep, it's on Saturday. I'll be putting out on Wednesday or Thursday it will be. There'll be a 30-second-ish members only. Members only. What's the word I'm looking for? Members only video. And then I'll also put a members only community thing. But it's the same details as last month. So I'm using that same entry key. So that same link is valid. But yeah, it should be Saturday next week. Or this week or whatever. 6 days time. David, thank you for looking forward to the day 8 video. Brilliant. Awesome. Marcy Me. Bye all. Blonde Scales 1. Have a great week all. Ricardo, Gary, thanks for the live. Have a great week, everyone. Alia Rose, my husband is simply itching to troubleshoot the internet. Is it done yet? My top tip when troubleshooting network issues, engineer reboot. Turn it all off, turn it all on. That's what I do quite often here when we have issues. Tony, thanks, Gary, and good night. For me, good morning, everyone. Chris, thanks. Have a good week, everybody. Jim, have a great coming week. Let me just... That's all the comments. So I'll leave the chat open whilst the outro plays. Thank you all for your time. I love doing these, and I'll talk to you again soon.